Number 1. This 2006 Ford F-250 equipped with a dependable 5.4 L V8 gas engine represents the kind of truck that has lived a practical, work-oriented life while still retaining enough integrity to serve its next owner well. With approximately 119,000 miles, it sits at a mileage level that is relatively modest for a Super Duty of this age, especially considering how commonly these trucks push far beyond 200,000 miles when maintained properly. The seller notes several important mechanical updates recently performed, including new upper and lower ball joints, which are critical for front-end stability and steering precision, especially in a heavy-duty platform built to carry and tow substantial loads. Alongside those upgrades, the truck also received new brake pads, rotors, and calipers, meaning the braking system has effectively been refreshed, reducing concerns about stopping performance in both daily driving and work conditions. It features a rust-free bed, which is increasingly rare in northeastern states where winter road salt tends to eat through truck beds long before the drivetrain shows signs of fatigue. Having a clean, rust-free bed not only enhances long-term value, but also indicates that the vehicle may have been sourced from or stored in more favorable conditions compared to similar regional listings. A back rack is already installed, making it useful for securing ladders, materials, and work equipment without requiring additional investment from the buyer. The four-wheel drive system is reported to be fully functional, an important capability for anyone who intends to use it on job sites, in snowy climates, or for recreational purposes. Cruise control is operational as well, which makes highway travel more comfortable, especially during long hauls that trucks like this are often asked to perform. A notable modernization already included is Apple CarPlay, integrating contemporary convenience into an older chassis by providing hands-free communication, navigation, and streaming compatibility, all of which significantly enhance the driving experience without requiring aftermarket installation by the next owner. In terms of overall condition, the description suggests a truck that has been kept in working shape and supported with practical repairs rather than extravagant modifications, making it suitable for buyers who value simplicity, reliability, and honest mechanical upkeep. Though the listing does not detail interior condition, paint quality, or potential frame rust, the combination of low mileage for its age, recent essential repairs, and a rust-free bed makes this F-250 an appealing option for someone searching for a dependable work truck at a reasonable price point of $6,500 in Spencerport, New York. It stands out as a model that blends old-school durability with a few modern conveniences, offering an intersection of utility and value that many prospective truck buyers actively seek. Whether the next owner intends to use it for contracting, towing, hauling materials, seasonal plowing, or simply as a daily driver with extra capability, this 2006 F-250 seems positioned to continue delivering reliable service with the strength that Ford's Super Duty lineup has long been known for. Number 2. This 1999 Ford F-250 heavy-duty short bed equipped with a legendary 7.3L Power-Stroke diesel engine represents one of the most respected workhorse platforms Ford has ever produced, a model widely regarded for its near-mythical reliability and ability to accumulate extraordinarily high mileage without losing its core performance characteristics. With approximately 329,000 miles, this particular truck stands as a testament to the durability of the 7.3, a power plant known within diesel circles for running 500,000 miles or more when cared for properly. The seller explains that the truck is fitted with brand new tires, which is a meaningful value add considering the cost of quality truck tires and the importance of traction, especially for a heavy-duty diesel setup. Additionally, the seller notes that roughly $5,000 worth of front-end work was completed last year, indicating a substantial investment into the truck's mechanical soundness. Front-end repairs on aging heavy-duty trucks are not small tasks, and such an investment typically includes components like ball joints, tie rods, control arms, hubs, bearings, and related hardware essential for steering stability and road handling. The bed, or box, is sourced from Tennessee, an important detail because trucks originating from southern states typically experience far less rust exposure compared to those that spend their lives in northeastern climates. This can dramatically increase the structural integrity and longevity of the vehicle, particularly in areas like bed rails and the underside of the cargo box, which are common rust points in northern trucks subjected to salt-treated winter roads. While the truck is described as running great, the seller is transparent about a couple of mechanical needs. It requires a water pump, and it needs exhaust work prior to the muffler. A failing water pump is a manageable repair and not unusual for a diesel truck with high mileage. Replacing it restores proper coolant circulation and protects the engine from overheating, which is especially critical for turbocharged diesels. The exhaust note about needing piping before the muffler suggests either a rusted section or previous cutting during repair attempts. But this, too, is a relatively straightforward fix and not something that compromises drivability in the short term, though it may cause increased noise or slight performance irregularities. The truck's automatic transmission is an important detail, as many 7.3-liter owners appreciate the pairing of this engine with a classic 4R100 transmission, an older but proven unit capable of handling towing and heavy loads when maintained. The blue exterior and gray interior create a standard Super Duty color combination typical of the late 1990s and early 2000s, representing a utilitarian style rather than a luxury-oriented modern design, which many enthusiasts prefer because it reflects the straightforward, no-nonsense nature of these earlier trucks. At $2,000, the asking price places this truck into a value segment that many project seekers, diesel enthusiasts, or budget-minded buyers find appealing. A running 7.3 diesel truck, even with high mileage and some needed repairs, rarely appears at this low of a price point, especially when it has recent investments in front-end components and new tires that would otherwise cost a new owner thousands of additional dollars. The truck's condition suggests that it could serve as an affordable entry point for someone wanting to own a 7.3 Power Stroke without the high market prices typically associated with cleaner, lower-mileage examples. It could be suited for a buyer who needs a farm truck, a dedicated work truck, a plow platform, or a restoration/upgrade project for personal use. Diesel hobbyists often appreciate trucks like this because they offer mechanical simplicity, aftermarket support, and nearly unmatched engine longevity, even at mileage levels that would be considered extreme for gas-powered engines. The seller's description paints a picture of a truck that has been used, but also maintained through significant investments, one that still has the strong foundational elements. Most importantly, the engine that enthusiasts seek. Located in Akron, New York, it sits in a region where winter weather is known to accelerate rust, making its southern-sourced box a notable advantage. Overall, this 1999 Ford F-250 with the 7.3 diesel stands as a rugged, mechanically promising working truck with a few repairs needed but enormous potential value for the next owner willing to continue its upkeep, especially at such an accessible asking price. Number 3. This 2005 Ford F-250 Super Duty regular cab XLT pickup with an 8-foot stake body represents a classic work-ready platform that has been maintained with practicality and operational reliability in mind, shown immediately by its 143,887 miles, relatively moderate for a truck of this class and era, especially given Ford's reputation for building long-lasting Super Duty models. Powered by the strong 6.8 LV10 gasoline engine paired with an automatic transmission, this truck delivers the kind of torque and consistent pulling power expected from larger displacement gas engines, making it suitable for hauling heavy loads, towing equipment, or serving as a dependable commercial or agricultural vehicle. The stake body equipped with removable racks enhances the versatility of the truck, allowing it to transition between carrying bulk materials, tools, machinery, or other cargo that benefits from an open, configurable bed layout. The seller emphasizes that the truck runs well, with the engine delivering smooth and dependable performance, and the 4x4 system functioning properly. A major advantage for work in rural areas, winter terrain, or job sites where traction is essential. The white exterior and gray interior reflect the typical utilitarian aesthetic of mid-2000s XLT models. Durable fabrics, straightforward controls, and a design focused on function rather than luxury. Important maintenance updates add significant value. The lights all operate correctly, the heating and air conditioning systems work as intended, and the truck comes with an additional pair of new tires mounted on incorrect rims, which the buyer may still repurpose or remount. Recently installed rear brakes, fresh rotors, and one new caliper improve stopping performance, while front and rear shocks replaced 2 years ago ensure stability under load. The battery has also been replaced, eliminating one of the most common sources of unexpected roadside issues on older trucks. The seller is firm on the $6,000 price and includes a silver toolbox, a valuable accessory particularly for contractors or tradespeople who need secure onboard equipment storage. The note that the vehicle is being sold due to illness and business closure provides context, suggesting that the truck was part of an active working fleet rather than a neglected personal vehicle, and it is currently parked at Big Time Service on Ridge Road West in Brockport, indicating accessibility for inspection. Altogether, this F250 V10 offers a combination of mechanical upkeep, functional design, and heavy-duty capability that appeals to buyers who need a ready-to-work vehicle rather than a cosmetic showpiece, making it a practical and fairly priced option in the used commercial truck market. Number 4. This 2005 Ford F-250 listed at $5,999 presents itself as a relatively low-mileage heavy-duty pickup with 136,000 miles, an attractive figure for buyers familiar with how long these trucks can last when cared for properly. Powered by a gasoline engine and equipped with an automatic transmission, this black exterior and gray interior model maintains the rugged, straightforward identity that defines Ford's Super Duty line. The seller notes that the truck starts and runs very well, suggesting that the drivetrain remains strong and responsive. The bed has been replaced with a primed red oxide bed, a detail that often indicates proactive rust prevention or a structural refresh rather than simple cosmetic repair, which is important in regions where corrosion destroys truck beds prematurely. The interior is described as being in very nice condition, something many buyers pay close attention to for older trucks, as a clean interior often reflects a history of responsible ownership. The seller does mention that the truck has been off the road for a while, which is not uncommon for secondary work trucks or vehicles owned by small businesses. But this also means it may require basic refreshing such as fluids, filters, or general reconditioning, depending on how long it has been sitting. They also state that any issue found can be repaired at an additional cost, clarifying that the current listed price is strictly for the truck as is. Included in that price is a snow plow, which dramatically increases the truck's value for buyers in northern states, especially for winter contractors, homeowners with long driveways, or small businesses needing snow clearing capability. The seller seems open to discussion while also setting realistic expectations about the condition and pricing framework, offering a combination of transparency and flexibility often appreciated in private sales. The truck's overall profile suggests a platform with strong potential. Mechanically sound, cosmetically decent, and equipped with a major functional accessory in the form of the plow, making it ideal for someone looking for a dependable work truck, a plow truck, or a restoration candidate that already has a good foundation. Number 5. This 2006 Ford F-250 short bed offered at $5,500 represents the kind of high-mileage fleet-maintained truck that many buyers specifically seek because such vehicles tend to receive regular, scheduled servicing throughout their working life. With 271,000 miles on its gasoline engine and automatic transmission, this truck has clearly spent its years in active use. Yet the seller notes that it fires up every time, a testament to consistent upkeep and mechanical dependability. Its origins as a fleet maintenance truck that came out of Florida a few years ago significantly increases its appeal, as Florida vehicles typically avoid the frame-destroying rust caused by northern winters. The white exterior paired with a gray interior maintains a clean, work-ready appearance, reflecting the typical configuration used in commercial fleets. Over the years, a long list of essential components has been replaced or refreshed: ball joints, bearings, brakes and rotors, axle joints, and the starter, all critical wear items that frequently fail on older heavy-duty trucks. A new battery ensures reliable cold starts and electrical stability, while a rebuilt front drive shaft speaks to care taken in maintaining the vehicle's four-wheel drive functionality and driveline integrity. The seller also mentions that all new front-end parts have been replaced over the years, which is an important indicator of long-term roadworthiness. The front end of F250s in this era commonly requires periodic rebuilding due to the weight of the truck and stress on suspension components. The truck's ability to consistently start and run, despite its mileage, is common for well-maintained Ford Super Duty models, especially those that serve in structured fleet environments where preventive maintenance is mandatory rather than optional. For buyers who prioritize function over appearance, or those who need a reliable workhorse for construction, hauling, landscaping, plowing, farm duties, or towing smaller equipment, this 2006 F250 presents significant value at its asking price. It offers a combination of durability, recent mechanical investment, and the reassurance that it was maintained under the strict standards of fleet service, attributes that dramatically extend the useful lifespan of high-mileage trucks like this. Number 6. The 2006 Ford F250 HD short bed being offered out of Rochester, New York, with an asking price of $1,234, stands as one of those older heavy-duty work trucks that may no longer shine like something fresh off the dealership lot, but still carries with it a sense of reliability and mechanical honesty that many people specifically look for in the used truck market. With a recorded mileage of 220,000 kilometers, this truck has clearly been driven and used for its intended purpose over the years, yet the seller emphasizes that it remains a solid unit, supported by a number of new parts, as well as receipts to validate those updates. That detail alone suggests that this is not a neglected truck. Instead, it appears to belong to someone who has tried to maintain it, replacing components as needed to keep it functional rather than letting wear accumulate. Wearing a brown exterior paired with a tan interior, the truck presents a classic and subdued color combination, hinting at a utilitarian design rather than anything that aims for flash or excessive styling. It features an automatic transmission and runs on diesel fuel, which is typical for an F250 of this era, especially for buyers who prefer the torque and longevity that diesel motors are known to provide in heavy-duty applications. While the listing does not elaborate on cosmetic condition or specific mechanical upgrades, the note that there are lots of new parts, along with documentation, suggests that recent work, whether involving suspension, brakes, fuel components, or other wear-prone systems, has been completed with enough care that the seller feels confident emphasizing it. Trucks like this are often attractive to buyers who need a dependable hauler for work, towing, farm use, or a general utility. And although the price of $1,234 is clearly a placeholder or extremely low, it reinforces that this vehicle is being marketed as a practical, functional tool rather than a luxury or collector's item. The short bed configuration also makes it slightly more maneuverable in tight spaces compared to the long bed variants, which can be helpful for job sites or urban driving while still maintaining enough capacity for carrying tools, equipment, or materials. Taken as a whole, this listing describes a straightforward heavy-duty diesel pickup that has lived a full life but continues to offer value thanks to its sturdy design and the investment in new components, making it appealing to someone who wants a budget-friendly work truck with documented upkeep rather than an unknown mechanical history. Number 7. The 2011 Ford F250 Super Duty Crew Cab being offered out of Tonawanda, New York for $6,500, open to best offers, represents a more modern generation of Ford's heavy-duty lineup, bringing with it the robust build quality and capability that the Super Duty badge is known for, while also benefiting from updated engineering compared to earlier models. With 175,728 miles on the odometer, this particular truck has certainly been driven, yet that mileage is well within the expected lifespan for a properly maintained Super Duty, especially one equipped with a powertrain designed to withstand towing, hauling, and the demands of both commercial and personal heavy-duty use. Equipped with an automatic transmission and running on flexible fuel, the truck offers a level of versatility in fuel choice that some buyers appreciate, and the combination of a red exterior with a black interior adds a bold, clean look that stands apart from the more muted tones common in older work trucks. As a crew cab, it offers significantly more space than a regular cab or extended cab, allowing comfortable seating for multiple passengers, making it suitable not only for job site use, but also for families, larger work crews, or anyone who needs the blend of capability and interior room that only a full-size crew cab can provide. The listing does not dive into extensive mechanical specifics, but the seller's concise statement, 2011 Ford F-250 truck for $6,500 or best offer, implies a straightforward sale in which the seller is ready to move the truck and open to negotiation. Given the year, mileage, and the bargain level asking price, it is likely being targeted toward buyers who want a capable heavy-duty truck without the steep cost associated with newer diesel models. Trucks from this era are often favored for their dependable drivetrains, strong chassis, and the ability to handle demanding workloads year after year when properly maintained. While the listing does not elaborate on cosmetic imperfections, mechanical updates, or any known issues, the combination of pricing and openness to offers suggests the seller may be motivated, making this a potentially strong value for someone who needs a functional work truck, towing vehicle, or multi-purpose daily driver with the spaciousness of a crew cab and the reputation of Ford's Super Duty platform. Number 8. The 1986 Ford F-250 long bed listed for $2,500 in Lima, New York, is the type of older heavy-duty pickup that appeals to a specific category of buyers. Those who appreciate classic trucks, mechanical simplicity, and the durability of Ford's older 3/4-ton platforms. With a remarkably low recorded mileage of just 43,002 miles, this truck stands out immediately. Such low mileage for a nearly 40-year-old vehicle strongly suggests it spent much of its life either stored or used sparingly, a detail that collectors and enthusiasts often value highly. Described as an F-250 XLT Lariat extended cab with a long bed, it includes higher-end trim for its era and provides extra interior room along with a full-length bed ideal for hauling. Powered by a 460 big block V8 paired with a C6 automatic transmission, this setup is iconic among Ford enthusiasts for its simplicity, durability, and raw power. The mention of MSD ignition indicates an upgraded ignition system, a popular reliability and performance enhancement often added by owners who understand these engines well. The seller notes that the truck is 4x4, an important capability feature, and also states that both the box and tailgate are rust-free, an impressive condition point given that trucks from the 1980s are commonly affected by corrosion, especially in northern climates. However, the body does have some rust patches here and there, although the seller emphasizes that overall it remains solid for its age, suggesting the structural integrity is still good. The motor turns over, meaning it is not seized, but the truck will require brake lines and other small repairs before it is road-ready. These types of needed repairs are common in older trucks that have spent long periods sitting, as brake lines corrode, rubber components dry out, and various systems require refreshing. The seller is asking $2,500 or best offer and is explicitly not interested in trades, which often indicates a desire for a straightforward cash sale. Trucks like this attract hobbyists, restorers, farmers, and anyone looking for a durable, mechanically simple platform that can be restored, put back to work, or preserved as part of a classic truck collection. Its combination of low miles, big block engine, long bed, and 4x4 capability make it a strong candidate for someone willing to put in the effort to complete the necessary repairs. Number 9. The 2000 Ford F-350 Super Duty regular cab long bed, offered for $5,500 out of M.T. Morris, New York, is centered around what is widely considered one of the most respected diesel engines ever installed in a pickup truck, the 7.3-liter Power Stroke. With 241,000 miles, it has unquestionably been used extensively, yet that number is far from alarming for a 7.3, as many enthusiasts and owners report these engines reaching well beyond 400,000 or even 500,000 miles when cared for properly. The seller emphasizes that the truck runs great and starts reliably regardless of temperature, a hallmark of a healthy 7.3, and notes that mileage will continue increasing because it is still used as a daily driver. This reinforces the impression that the truck is not merely functional, but dependable in everyday use. Equipped with four-wheel drive, it is capable of handling demanding terrain and weather conditions, and a regular cab paired with a long bed makes it ideal for work environments where hauling capacity is prioritized over passenger seating. The listing highlights several desirable performance upgrades, including a Stage 2 KC turbo, a remanufactured high-pressure oil pump, HPOP, and a hydrotuner. These modifications can significantly improve throttle response, towing performance, and overall drivability, particularly for owners who need extra pulling power or simply enjoy a more responsive diesel. The seller also mentions additional new parts installed recently, though not specified, which suggests consistent maintenance. However, the cab is described as getting rough and in need of cab corners and rockers, common rust areas on older F-Series trucks, especially in northern climates where road salt accelerates corrosion. Despite the rust, the mechanical upgrades and strong running condition may outweigh cosmetic concerns for many buyers. The back rack and toolbox will not be included in the sale, and the truck now features a stock black bumper rather than the one pictured, indicating minor cosmetic changes. Offered at $5,500 or best offer with no trades accepted, the truck is clearly targeted toward buyers who value mechanical strength and proven reliability over cosmetic perfection. Number 10. The 2004 Ford F-250 Super Duty Regular Cab XL Pickup, listed for $1,800 in Rochester, New York, represents a budget-friendly option for someone in need of a capable work truck, a winter plow vehicle, or a project truck that could be revived with a modest level of effort. With 119,000 miles, which is relatively low for a two-decade-old Super Duty, this truck has clearly not been driven to extremes and retains plenty of potential life left in its drivetrain and chassis. It features an automatic transmission and runs on gasoline, making it simpler to maintain compared to diesel variants. And both the exterior and interior are described as gray, suggesting a uniform, utilitarian appearance fitting for a work-oriented model. The seller lists the price firmly as $1,800, stating, "First $1,800 takes it," signaling urgency and a desire for a quick sale. The truck needs a new battery and a tune-up, two issues that are relatively minor and inexpensive to address for most mechanically inclined buyers or local shops. Significantly, it includes a plow, which drastically increases its value and utility for buyers located in snowy regions or those who manage driveways, parking lots, or small commercial properties. The seller states that this must be sold by 10 a.m. on Thursday morning, indicating a strict deadline that might suggest relocation, clearing space, or financial urgency. Additionally, the mention that if this post is still up, it is still for sale is a classic clarification used by private sellers to minimize repeated inquiries. Overall, this listing paints the picture of a straightforward, no-nonsense sale of a work-ready Ford pickup with relatively low miles, minimal mechanical needs, and the added value of an included plow, making it particularly appealing for buyers seeking an affordable winter-ready truck or a dependable work unit they can revive quickly. Number 11. The 1997 Ford F-250 Regular Cab Long Bed, offered in Rochester, New York for $8,500, is the sort of heavy-duty diesel truck that represents not just a tool or a means of transportation, but a piece of Ford's long-standing legacy in building remarkably resilient pickup platforms, especially during an era when durability and mechanical simplicity were major selling points. Powered by the legendary 7.3-liter Power-Stroke diesel engine, a power plant praised across the country for its unmatched longevity, straightforward design, and capacity to survive extreme conditions. This particular truck enters the market with 197,000 miles, a figure that might seem high for ordinary vehicles, but is practically midlife for a well-maintained 7.3. The seller mentions the current mileage sits at 196K, with an upcoming oil change scheduled at 197.5K, a small detail that subtly reveals the owner's consistent attentiveness to routine upkeep. Owners of these engines often emphasize that oil change intervals are the cornerstone of making a Power Stroke last upward of 500,000 miles, and the fact that the seller tracks mileage so precisely suggests someone who knows the truck well and treats it with responsible care. Finished in white with a gray interior, the truck carries the straightforward look of a classic work-oriented Ford. Nothing flashy or overly styled, just practical, functional, and built to do real labor. It is equipped with an automatic transmission and runs on diesel fuel, and the seller lists fuel economy numbers of 12 miles per gallon city, 17 miles per gallon highway, and 14 miles per gallon combined. However, they also note that real-world driving has delivered much better results, such as 20 miles per gallon around town and as much as 25 miles per gallon at a steady 65 miles per hour on the highway, numbers that diesel enthusiasts often cite as achievable when the engine is healthy, properly tuned, and not overloaded. Those details paint the picture of a truck operating efficiently even with age, which is a major selling point for buyers familiar with the 7.3 platform. In terms of maintenance, the truck has received several meaningful updates. The air filter was replaced during the last oil change, ensuring proper airflow and improved combustion, while the brakes, front discs, and rear drums were fully redone last June. Given that brake work is often one of the more expensive maintenance tasks on older heavy-duty trucks, especially those used for towing or carrying heavy loads, having that already completed removes a major expense for the next owner. The air conditioning requires a Freon recharge, but the heat works effectively, which is especially important in New York's winter climate. The inclusion of a fiberglass bed cap adds significant value as well. Not only does it protect the bed itself from weather exposure, but it also expands the truck's utility by providing secure, enclosed space for transporting tools, materials, or equipment. Many buyers spend hundreds or thousands of dollars acquiring such a cap separately, so having it included is a practical advantage. Rust is a constant concern for trucks of this age, particularly in the Northeast, where road salt accelerates corrosion. But the seller has proactively scraped and treated most of the frame with rust converter, a meaningful step that slows down deterioration and shows involvement in preserving the truck's long-term structural integrity. The truck also comes with a new set of glow plugs, which is not only a valuable item to include, but also a sign that the seller understands the needs of a 7.3 diesel in cold climates. Glow plugs are essential for reliable winter starts, and replacing them is a chore many buyers prefer to avoid if possible. Overall, this listing paints the portrait of a well-maintained, carefully operated, thoughtfully preserved 1997 F-250 that offers strength, dependability, and practicality. It appeals to diesel enthusiasts, farmers, laborers, tow operators, and anyone who values a truck that is ready to work today while still having decades of potential life left when properly cared for. Number 12. The 2011 Ford F-250XL being offered in Hemlock, New York for $5,000 is presented as a rugged, mechanically strong, and extensively modified 6.7 power-stroke diesel truck that, despite showing its age through rust and body deterioration, still stands as a highly functional and dependable heavy-duty pickup for someone who values capability and raw diesel performance over cosmetic perfection. With 200,500 miles on the odometer, this truck has seen real-world use and has likely been worked the way a Super Duty is meant to be worked, yet the seller repeatedly emphasizes that it remains extremely reliable, stating that it starts right up and continues to serve as their daily driver, a detail that signals not only ongoing usability but confidence in the truck's drivetrain. The fact that miles will continue to rise because they drive it every day actually reinforces the idea that the truck is neither sitting broken nor in unusable condition. Instead, it is functioning actively as intended, which is meaningful for anyone evaluating an older diesel truck with modifications. The listing mentions that the truck comes on stocks, meaning it is still riding on its factory-style wheels rather than oversized aftermarket sets, giving potential buyers some reassurance that it likely hasn't been subjected to extreme off-road abuse or drastic suspension changes that can strain steering and drivetrain components. However, the real mechanical highlight is that the 6.7 power-stroke engine has been tuned and deleted, a phrase that immediately communicates to diesel-savvy buyers that the truck has undergone emission system removal and engine retuning, typically resulting in better performance, fewer mechanical failures related to EGR or DPF systems, faster throttle response, and often increased horsepower and torque. While such modifications can be controversial due to emissions laws, among diesel enthusiasts they are commonly viewed as a way to unleash the engine's full potential and reduce the risk of expensive emissions-related repairs. That the seller begins the listing by stating, "Comes on stock's 6.7 Power Stroke tuned and deleted," shows that this is a key selling feature meant to attract buyers who specifically seek out modified diesel platforms. Cosmetically, the seller is upfront. The truck has rust and mainly needs body work. In many northern states, including New York, rust is expected on work trucks that are more than a decade old, especially those used year-round. What matters more is structural integrity and mechanical health, both of which the seller hints remain solid despite the exterior condition. The mechanical needs that the truck does have, such as a new locking hub for 4WD functionality, come with a silver lining. The seller already has the replacement hub included with the truck, making the future repair more convenient and less costly for the buyer. Additionally, the truck needs a front driver's side wheel bearing and shocks, both of which are standard wear items and not unexpected on a heavy-duty truck with high mileage. These repairs, though necessary, do not suggest catastrophic damage or major drivetrain failure, but rather typical maintenance for used Super Duty. More importantly, the seller highlights what has already been replaced: a new power steering pump and belt, components that enhance steering performance and reduce strain on the engine accessory system. The replacement of these parts suggests that the seller has not neglected the truck, but has instead invested in keeping it functional and reliable. For buyers, this is an encouraging sign, especially when paired with the fact that the truck handles daily driving duties without complaint. Trucks with the 6.7 Power Stroke engine are known for their impressive power output and towing capability, often favored for farm use, construction work, towing trailers, and other heavy-duty applications. When tuned and deleted, they often gain additional torque and responsiveness, making them even more desirable to certain buyers who value performance and mechanical simplicity. The seller concludes the listing by stating they are open to trades, specifically for a 6.0 Power Stroke truck, which is interesting because it reveals the seller likely understands diesel engines well. The 6.0 Power Stroke appeals to enthusiasts who enjoy modifying and improving engines with strong aftermarket support. This also indicates that the seller is not simply offloading a problem truck, but is instead someone who cycles through different diesel platforms as part of a hobby or preference. The willingness to trade also signals motivation and flexibility in the sale, potentially offering buyers additional leverage. Overall, this 2011 F250XL is being presented not as a beauty piece or a showroom model, but as a strong, tuned, work-oriented diesel pickup with great running reliability, identifiable and manageable maintenance needs, and performance upgrades that will appeal to anyone seeking power and durability at an accessible price point. Number 13. The 1999 Ford F250 Super Duty 7.3 diesel being offered in West Falls, New York for $8,700 is the type of truck that immediately attracts attention from anyone familiar with the reputation of the 7.3-liter Power Stroke, widely considered one of the most durable, reliable, and desirable diesel engines ever installed in a pickup truck. With just 143,753 miles, this particular example stands out dramatically in a market where most surviving 7.3s have long surpassed the 250,000 to 300,000 mile mark. A 7.3 with mileage this low is increasingly rare, and because these engines regularly last well beyond 500,000 miles when maintained properly, many buyers view this odometer reading as a significant premium factor. The truck features an automatic transmission and comes finished in a black exterior with a gray interior, creating a clean, understated appearance that has aged well over time, especially for a work-oriented 3/4-ton diesel from the late 1990s. The seller describes the truck as solid, a simple but powerful word in the northern U.S. automotive market, where rust damage often turns otherwise excellent trucks into unrepairable shells. Because rust is such a common concern on older Super Duty models, especially frame rails, spring hangers, rocker panels, cab corners, and brake lines, the word solid implies a truck that still maintains structural integrity and is likely free from major corrosion issues that would compromise longevity or safety. The seller also mentions that the truck has new springs and new brakes, two repairs that not only enhance safety and ride quality, but also indicate that meaningful recent maintenance has already been performed. Springs, especially in heavy-duty Ford trucks, are costly to replace and often fail due to years of carrying heavy loads or exposure to harsh climates. Having new springs already installed suggests that the truck suspension is likely in excellent condition, making it more suitable for towing, hauling, and daily driving. Likewise, new brakes, depending on whether they include rotors, pads, drums, and associated hardware, represent a substantial value to the next owner since brake repairs on heavy-duty trucks are significantly more expensive than on standard half-ton pickups. These updates combined paint a picture of a truck that has received care, attention, and proper investment. The seller briefly but clearly states $10,000 or best offer, which may indicate that they have received interest or believe the truck's market value is higher than the initial listing price of $8,700. In today's used truck market, clean and low-mileage 7.3s are increasingly viewed as investment vehicles because Ford's newer diesel platforms, while more powerful, include far more complex emission systems, electronic components, and maintenance costs that deter buyers who want the simplicity and toughness of the pre-emissions era. This 1999 model year holds particular appeal because it represents the first year of the Super Duty redesign, offering a stronger frame, more modern styling, improved towing capabilities, and better interior ergonomics compared to earlier F-Series trucks, all while retaining the bulletproof 7.3 engine. Enthusiasts often consider the 1999 to 2003 7.3 Power-Stroke trucks to be the perfect blend of pre-emissions reliability and modern heavy-duty capability. Even though the listing is short, every detail provided aligns with what knowledgeable diesel buyers want. A solid chassis, low mileage, documented fresh suspension and brake work, a desirable color scheme, and the presence of the famed 7.3 Power-Stroke. Trucks like this rarely stay on the market long, as they appeal not only to farmers, contractors, and haulers, but also to collectors, restorers, and long-term owners who want an engine known to outlast nearly everything else on the road. For someone seeking a powerful, long-lasting diesel pickup that has the potential to serve faithfully for decades, this 1999 F-250 Super Duty stands out as an exceptionally compelling option, one that embodies both the heritage and the rugged durability that made Ford's heavy-duty lineup iconic. Number 14. The 2000 Ford F-250 short bed listed for $6,500 in Houghton, New York is a classic example of the type of daily driven, mechanically dependable 7.3-liter Power-Stroke truck that continues to attract buyers even after more than 2 decades on the road. With 225,433 miles, the truck clearly shows that it has been used for real work and regular transportation, yet the seller emphasizes that it runs and drives and is used every day, a meaningful sign that the vehicle is not sitting in a yard waiting for repair nor suffering from major mechanical failures. The automatic transmission paired with the 7.3 diesel engine ensures a driving experience that is both powerful and predictable, especially for buyers familiar with the characteristics of older Ford diesel platforms, which prioritize simplicity and raw strength over the complex electronics and emission systems seen in later models. The truck's black exterior and brown interior create a rugged, no-nonsense appearance suitable for a work-oriented pickup, especially one that has likely lived a practical life hauling, towing, or performing job site duties. The seller is transparent about the cosmetic issues. The cab corners and rockers are rusty, and the truck needs cosmetic stuff, an honest acknowledgement that mirrors the reality of owning an older Super Duty in a region where winter road salt accelerates corrosion. Despite this rust, the seller insists that the truck remains solid overall, implying that the frame and essential structural components are still in stable condition. This distinction is important because while cosmetic rust can be unsightly, structural rust can render a truck unsafe or unrepairable, and the seller's assurance suggests that most of the rust is limited to replaceable body sections rather than critical areas. Mechanically, the truck appears reliable enough to function as a daily driver, which is often the best testimony a seller can give. Trucks with serious drivetrain or suspension issues rarely serve reliably as everyday transportation, So the fact that this one does reinforces confidence in the engine, transmission, and core mechanical systems. Buyers familiar with the 7.3 Power Stroke know that these engines can easily surpass 400,000 or even 500,000 miles with good maintenance, meaning that despite having surpassed 225K miles, this truck is only about halfway through its potential lifespan. People often seek out the 7.3 Power Stroke specifically because it predates the emissions-era complexity that makes later diesel trucks more expensive and difficult to maintain. The seller also states, not perfect by any means, but follows it with still solid, a pairing of statements that reflects a straightforward, transparent attitude toward the truck's condition. This sort of candidness often signals that the seller understands trucks, understands realistic buyer expectations, and is not trying to mask flaws or oversell the vehicle. The price of $6,500 or best offer, combined with openness to trades, suggests flexibility and indicates that the seller may be motivated. Trades being considered could appeal to buyers interested in a deal that doesn't involve full cash. Overall, this 2000 F250 short bed with the 7.3 Power Stroke is exactly the type of rugged, proven diesel truck that appeals to practical-minded buyers, those who want raw mechanical strength, towing power, and engine longevity without concern for cosmetic perfection. In the world of older diesel pickups, mechanical health and engine reliability matter far more than aesthetic details, and this listing provides a combination of transparency, daily usability, and legendary engine reputation that makes it a compelling candidate for work, towing, farm use, or even restoration for the right enthusiast. Number 15. The 2008 Ford F-250 Super Duty Super Cab XLT Pickup 4D6 and 3/4 feet being offered for $3,000 in Palmyra, New York is the kind of heavy-duty diesel truck that, despite its age and extremely high chassis mileage, delivers an impressive blend of mechanical investment, strong running condition, and functional capability at a price that is shockingly low for the diesel market. This model year belongs to the 6.4 Power Stroke era, an engine known for its power but also for its sensitivity to emissions components, and many owners choose to delete and tune the truck to improve reliability and reduce the likelihood of expensive mechanical failures. The seller highlights that this truck is deleted and tuned with an HS Mini Max tuner, a well-known tuning system among diesel enthusiasts, and states that the truck runs great, shifts smoothly, and offers tons of power, giving prospective buyers confidence that the drivetrain is performing at a level that exceeds factory output. With approximately 380,000 miles on the chassis, the truck has unquestionably lived a full working life. Yet the seller explains that the drivetrain itself was reportedly rebuilt around 120,000 miles ago by the previous owner. This detail dramatically alters the truck's value because a freshly rebuilt drivetrain, especially in a diesel platform, can extend the usable lifespan significantly, often resetting concerns buyers might have about longevity. Additionally, the listing states that the truck is a daily driver and is inspected through December, two critical signals that it is not only functional but legally roadworthy and actively being used. A truck with failed systems, unsafe conditions, or major mechanical faults would not be able to pass inspection or serve daily driving duties. The seller mentions a full suite of new front-end components including new tie rods, drag link, steering damper, and gearbox, which represent some of the most important and most expensive repairs commonly needed on older Super Duty models. These updates greatly improve steering stability, reduce play in the steering wheel, and restore the front end's integrity, making the truck safer and more predictable to drive. On the braking side, the truck has new rear brakes and calipers, with front brakes in decent condition, meaning that braking performance has been recently refreshed and is likely strong. The air conditioning blows cold, a desirable feature, especially in a work truck used year-round. The Cooper at 3 tires are described as decent, meaning they still have life left and maintain good traction for mixed terrain. The truck is equipped with factory tow package and trailer brake controller, which significantly increases its utility for towing trailers, boats, equipment, or campers. Everything reportedly works, including 4x4 functionality, adding to its appeal as a multi-purpose vehicle capable of handling winter storms, muddy fields, or worksite conditions with ease. The seller also mentions that they replaced the gauge cluster because the original screen was malfunctioning, but due to Ford's passive anti-theft system, the replacement cluster requires programming before it can be fully functional, a relatively minor but unavoidable inconvenience. The seller's honesty about this detail adds credibility to the rest of the listing. With the seller having recently purchased a van and needing space, this truck is priced aggressively at just $3,000, making it accessible for buyers who want a powerful diesel truck without entering the higher price brackets typically associated with the diesel market. The seller even offers local delivery for buyers in the Newark area, which further indicates a willingness to facilitate the sale smoothly. Overall, this 2008 F-250 stands as a rare opportunity, a heavily maintained, mechanically upgraded, powerful diesel truck with active inspection and strong daily performance, available at a price far below typical market value. For buyers seeking a work truck, tow vehicle, or inexpensive entry into the diesel world, this listing is remarkably compelling.